In my last one of these videos, I told you about some games that I'm excited to play when they come out. And while 3 out of the 5 games on that list were first-person shooters, I'm still really excited for games of other genres when they release. With that said, I don't believe a lot of the games that are on the horizon will be really good. Far from it, actually. You know, sometimes there are just those games that when you look at a trailer or you see gameplay of it, you're just like, you know, it'll be okay. And of course, there's also games that you see a trailer of it and you're like, oh my goodness, this game is gonna suck. So I thought today I'm gonna go over some of those games. Keep in mind, this list is tailored to games that I play, so one of these games that's on this list you might find that you want to play it. Now that that's out of the way, let me tell you about 5 games that I'm not excited for. Many years ago, when I saw that Skull and Bones was being developed, I thought that'll be fun. Assassin's Creed 4 had good boat sections. But this game has been in development for over 10 years. In that time, I graduated elementary school, middle school, and high school, and the game still hasn't come out. About 3/4 of my way through high school, I played some Sea of Thieves, and my bad experience of that game turned me off to any sailing-oriented games for the rest of my life. Don't get me wrong, if you like those types of games, you should play it, but it was just not for me. Anyways, when I find out that this game has been in development hell for over 10 years, my excitement for it goes from little to none. Now, there are games that have been good but were stuck in development forever, like LA Noire, Doom 2016, and Team Fortress 2, but pretty much all of the good games to come out of long developments have one thing in common. They aren't Ubisoft games. Furthermore, we don't even fully know what this game is about. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that there are too many red flags for me to look forward to Skull and Bones. Remember at the end of the Excited Games video where I said I was excited for Starfield? Well, that's still half true, because if the game is as good as it's advertised, I'll be playing it for a long time. But huge new titles like this are not always bound to succeed. If you think of huge, super hyped new IP games, what games come off the top of your head? I bet one of them is Cyberpunk 2077, probably Duke Nukem Forever, Watch Dogs, and the game that you can compare Starfield the most to, which is No Man's Sky. If Starfield comes out and is as broken as a game like Cyberpunk on release, or as lacking in depth as No Man's Sky's release, it'll be incredibly disappointing. But I can't say I'll be that surprised, because it's really rare for games about space to actually stick the landing, no pun intended. But this game looks super ambitious, and I hope that they prove my skepticism wrong. Robocop Rogue City's environment is what caught my eye in the first place. The griminess and lighting of dystopian Detroit really looks clean in the new Unreal Engine. But there are a few different things that stick out to me that'll probably deter me from playing this game through. The first thing is the movement. There's nothing more boring than moving slowly when you feel like you can move faster. I get that Robocop is a slow robot and can't move fast, but that doesn't make up for the lack of mobility I'll feel when playing the game. Second is the combat. It looks like you just walk into a room and a filter goes over your screen as you mow down people like how Robocop would. And that system of combat just doesn't feel appealing to me when you have games like the Finals right around the corner where you're going to be flying around with grappling hooks and trying to shoot people out of midair. The third thing is the story. Robocop just never had a truly gripping story in the first place, which is why as a franchise it's done worse than other robot movies like Terminator and Transformers. In addition, other than Robocop's iconic voice, none of the other voices really grip me either. You know, I just feel like Robocop will be a boring game, and the only thing worse than a bad game is a boring one. This feels like a cop-out answer because I don't know anyone who's excited to play Fae Farm. When I first saw the trailer, it looked like the development team took parts of Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley and ran it through an AI program to make the most unappealing and forgetful JRPG of 2023. Which is a hard thing to do in my eyes, because to me every JRPG is unappealing and forgetful, but I digress. Maybe games like this just aren't for me, and you might find it to be a blast, but that's all I have to say. The game just looks boring. But knowing that it's the game on this list that I'm least excited to play, it'll probably be the best one. In the modern day of Steam games, I'd say that there are two semi-new game genres that are dominating the player base as of late. Those two game genres are roguelikes and open-world survival crafting games. The difference between roguelikes and open-world survival crafting games are that roguelikes are fine-tuned experiences with the design beginning, middle, and end of the game that are supposed to be there from the start. Open-world survival crafting games, on the other hand, are just, here's a map, here's some enemies, go do you. And to me, that kind of formula got old as Minecraft survival mode started to wear down on me, and all of the games that followed that formula never really appealed to me as much as Minecraft, which feels like the mother of every open world surviving game out there. Ark Survival Evolved was no different for me. On top of the clunky movement and hardware requirements that hindered what friends could even play the game in the first place with me, there weren't that many in-depth mechanics that differentiated it from games like Rust, or The Forest, or Green Hell, or so many other titles. I feel like Ark 2 is just setting up to be a continuation of Ark 1 in terms of mechanics and playstyle, and on top of that, there are better open-world games out there with better plots. While some of my friends are going to pick up Ark 2 for sure, I'll probably be skipping out on this one. And those are some of the games that I'm worried about for the future. I think it's really important to say that if these games come out and turn out to be really good, I'll probably play all of them except for maybe like Fae Farm, but even if that one catches my eye, I still might take a chance on it. What I said in my excited games list is still true, it's still a good time to be a gamer. And who knows, maybe if these games are smash hits, people will start supporting these companies instead of ones who make bad games like Blizzard and Riot. I'll probably give these games all looks when the playable betas come out while I'm still waiting because Valve decided to let all of my friends into CS2 but not me, man, what the fuck?